Hello and welcome everyone to another comic movie Mark stream. The seconds kind of counted down funny there, so I'm not sure when I actually came on. Anyway,
I'm also curious because I only see 2 comments. I don't know how many you see on your side, but I'm only seeing 2. So I'm like, wow, we're off to a great start
I like
on
that
this
too.
fantastic Thanksgiving Eve for our American friends. Oh, there they go. Bam. Now they're dropping in. Elbow cough. Hello. For some reason, I thought the stream was tomorrow. Shimon Lee.
Shimon. Who said that? For some reason, I thought it said Thanksgiving Eve.
What?
What? I mean, anyway,
these guys are late.
No, we're not.
What? I thought we were right on time.
No, we were late because you wouldn't shut up.
Maybe.
All your energy was just slowing us down.
Exactly. I'm gonna bring it.
No, you can't call him Lord Fordhead. He's hiding it now.
Exactly. That was fun, but too distracting. So decided let's block it. It's fine. Exactly.
Whoopsie. So yeah, we're gonna do a pre-Thanksgiving stream for all our Americano people and anybody else. You just get to enjoy it. So originally we were just gonna take a break. But we decided, hey, let's do a live stream before Thanksgiving and at least put out something.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy. We don't have to edit shit, or I say we. Matt doesn't have to edit anything. And here we are. We can give you guys content. Boom. You're going to be disappointed, but glad you're here. Thank you.
Yeah, I was about to say, your disappointment level is just going to go through the roof.
Tam? I don't know.
Damn, Wilson.
Swanson?
Let's go. Yes, let's go indeed. Sup. Post content. Yes. Do you guys have... Oh, wait.
Not necessarily.
Well, we're trying now.
Yeah.
I tried to go with a theme.
Well, trying.
It was Shane in a car for a while. And then...
Yep. Oh, dang. I'm not familiar. I'm sure we can do a quick Google search, but that's always tough.
You ordered
Uh-oh.
Wait, from us? Or are you just talking about in general?
Your PlayStation 5? Because me too.
Yeah, mine got stuck too.
Yeah, I mean, definitely DM us or email us, comicmoviemarks@gmail.com if you ordered something and it's still stuck in the mail, because that'd be shitty.
Especially do international. I think the farthest we go is New Mexico.
Well, in a timely manner, the furthest we go is New Mexico, but yeah, pretty much. With all the energy, all the excitement, you guys are ready. I just realized that I did not do a very good job at cleaning up my office. There's a you guys can see the little bouncer we got and a Santa Claus.
Let's zoom in here. Oh,
there we go.
So now we can hide it.
Much better.
I have
now you can see my red eyes. Fuck. Supposed to be coming soon, I guess. I don't know.
What's up, y'all?
Sup, Adrian.
How are we? Exhausted. We are exhausted, Matt Man the Goat, but we are here for you guys to provide you the most mediocre entertainment possible.
Always.
This side of the Mississippi.
Subpar on this side of the Mississippi.
Are you going to talk about Whedon? I mean, I don't know what's there to talk about, though. I mean, wow, he got a show pulled away from him. You could talk about Ray Fisher's tweet. I mean, he mentioned that it doesn't seem like it's a coincidence because currently the WB investigation has been going on for over 3 weeks, and now he gets pulled from his HBO Max deal. But they were just filming reshoots not too long ago, like less than a week ago. They were talking about reshoots were shot and they were just finishing stuff up. So it's kind of weird. So I guess maybe he got yanked. Maybe now he knows how it feels. So he got yanked away and maybe somebody else will finish his series for him.
Yeah, I did retweet something that I thought was pretty funny. A guy, it's not really comparing apples to apples, but a guy basically said, oh, we have one director on one hand who is directing people who are in a completely different country on Zoom and directing them kind of from there, and then we have another one who's copping out to the pandemic. They're not the same thing. One of them just pick up scenes and and the other one's actually trying to film a show. But as Matt brought up with Ray Fisher, the fact that he damn, I thought we were going first. What the hell?
No, we were after
the late
them.
Oh, that's right. I forgot we're the late show
because we didn't want to cross streams.
With the mark.
You didn't want to cross, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't want to touch the tips.
Yeah, don't want to dock on each other.
But yeah, what Ray Fisher said, which was pretty hilarious. The fact that all this news is again very convenient. The investigations, I want to say 3 weeks deep, is what he said, and here we are, and all of a sudden Joss Whedon's stepping away.
Oh, release date for what? I'm just curious. I assume you're talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League.
March.
Yeah, it's March.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yep, and I think Grace Randolph said March, and yeah, it's going to be March. Yeah.
There we go. There's the loyalty. Not Ben and Garza. Get out of here. We don't even like those guys anyways. Actually, since they're streaming, now's our time to talk shit. So Garza, no.
Yeah, we're gonna shit all over his article. Anyway. Thank you, Jose. You're the man. You're the one that you know what to do. The Snyder Cut, of course. Yeah, March. It's gonna be March. I just don't know. I'm assuming it might be the beginning of March, and it's just gonna go and then end and then be presented in April. But yeah, March for sure.
Oh, okay. eBay from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And July 18th finally got to me on November 25th. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Man, you got that fast.
Just like all the votes.
Oh, there we go. See, he's trying to.
It's because we're the more interesting one, Garza. You know this.
Yeah. You say it's going to be May? Well, I say it's going to be March.
It's gonna be May. You know that.
So man. I say March because Snyder loves March, and there's a reason why he wanted March. And I say March. Oh, you guys trying to go with a year on the day? Well, you remember it's going to be in episodes, and obviously, and HBO Max is hurting for content, so they're going to want this out. Well, they do have Wonder Woman coming there, so now if they have Wonder Woman and then 3 months later, the Snyder Cut, the subscriber count is just going to start going through the roof. So yeah. See, Garza says March too. So there you go. Yeah. See, man.
This is pretty funny. We're going to talk about a podcast here. I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but we'll talk about it a little bit later. But that's good timing on that.
Well, it's probably because it's in the title, Shane.
Oh, I don't do this shit. Did you put it in the title?
Yeah.
Was it initially in the title?
Yeah, it's always been in the title.
All right. Well,
at the very end. God damn it. You see what I'm working with, people? Guys. You see what the fuck I'm working with? Thank you. God damn it. This is what I'm... Oh, my God. Anyway. Just right. Bring him back.
I'm back.
I need fodder. I need a meat shield.
Yeah. Can't do it on your own. We know this.
Anyway, so let's talk about some Green Lantern and Zack Snyder's Justice League. So Grace Randolph came out, and I don't know. I guess as the kids say, put a bunch of tea out there, I guess. I don't know. I still don't get this tea thing. I see it all the time.
Spell the tea, yeah.
I here's the tea, and I'm like, man, this shit is just getting worse. Like, I don't get it. But, you kids and your fucking hippity hoppity and slingy slang is just terrible. Anyway, but great.
Hip Hop Anonymous?
Hip hop. Okay, so now I got to figure out the good old share screen function here. And I think okay. Let's put that over here so I can still see what I'm doing. Okay. So she had a series of tweets here, and she's been promoting that she thought Ryan Reynolds was going to be in Zack Snyder's Justice League. And even Garza as well was putting a lot of emphasis on that. And it turns out, after we got the big news that it looks like a Deadpool 3 will definitely be happening now, Disney has bent the knee to Senor Reynolds because they're just giving it up.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed as well. What up, my whiteys? What's up?
White trash in the house.
Just came from Ben and Garza's stream. Yeah, see, we're just migrating over. We'll just take all
exactly.
Take it all in.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but welcome, Amar. Appreciate it.
Anyway, so they've been banking on this, and we heard some things here and there, and there's a weird thing that I don't know. I just started seeing some people saying that if Ryan Reynolds was in Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's a compromise. And I got so confused by that comment because see this, you guys, I almost got to block the comments because I can't keep a thought.
I can't stay focused. Indeed.
I prefer that was very
meth,
interesting.
But yeah, crack works too.
Yeah, we're the meth capital of the world. And shit there.
Exactly.
So,
as I'm like itching.
It's kind of interesting because people say that about that it would be a compromise for Snyder, but yet you look at everything that Snyder has produced. He's got the new Steppenwolf design. He's bringing in all these things. He got additional photography. He's got almost $70 million. Then you see Desaad and all the different changes that he's made. And somehow people think this is the moment where he'll compromise. And it just doesn't make sense to me. If Ryan Reynolds was going to be in Zack Snyder's Justice League, it was going to be because Zack Snyder wanted him in Justice League. I mean, I'm sorry, that's just clearly what it is. It was not going to be some kind of thing just for DC's behalf, because people it's kind of frustrating because you could just tell who's not the comic book fans, and maybe they just like Snyder, and that's fine. But it does get frustrating when people are throwing that out there because you're just not understanding the multiverse. They don't need to use Zack Snyder's Justice League to establish Reynolds' Green Lantern. They got the multiverse now. That's the point of the multiverse. Zack Snyder's Snyderverse is off to the side. It is its own thing. And it's not connecting that pre-existing Green Lantern from 2011. It's just like Deadpool. Think of it that way. Yeah, they made some jokes about the Deadpool from Wolverine or X-Men Origins Wolverine, but that was never really connected, obviously, because that Deadpool died or got his head cut off and everything. That's obviously not the same Deadpool that was in Deadpool 1, the one we got. So it's just that they're just redoing the character with the same actor. That's what it is. It's kind of like what they're doing with Spider-Man. I mean, even though now they're making a multiverse with J. Jonah Jameson, but just because a character is so established with a certain role, that's what it is. So that was the thing that was kind of confusing me. It's because for whatever reason, Snyder wanted Reynolds there. And we heard there were some talks, but I don't think anything ever got off the ground. And it could be because Reynolds wanted to be it. Maybe he wanted to do it, but it clearly seemed to be a thing to propel Deadpool 3 and force Disney's hand to make it, shit or get off the pot. That was kind of the thing with that.
Well, now it's going to be PG-13 anyways.
Oh my God.
Yeah. My sentiments exactly. I think that Snyder identified what we all identified in that even though Green Lantern maybe wasn't the best movie, Ryan Reynolds is the perfect casting choice to play the Green Lantern, at least that version of him. And as Matt mentioned, just because you're taking that actor who portrayed that character in a previous movie doesn't mean you're taking that entire movie and establishing, hey, look, this exists. And I think he was eager, similar to the Joker shot. He probably wanted to incorporate Ryan Reynolds somehow at some point, and it just couldn't get off the ground. I'm sure there were plans in there. It would not surprise me just the amount of kind of behind the scenes stuff that was going on. And, Garza and Grace both exactly. But both of them saying, yeah, this is going to happen. We're going to get a Green Lantern, and then it doesn't happen. I think there was something there. There were seeds that were planted, and just again an idea that didn't come to fruition. Now it didn't come to fruition. Now down the line in the future, who knows?
But see, this is the thing. A lot of people get confused by this particular sentence right here. Just really too busy was the reason why he wasn't doing it. And people were like, "How can he be too busy for a small role in Zack Snyder's Justice League?" And I was like, again, it's that very, very short-sightedness. And I'm like, no, because if it keeps going, he's going to be the Green Lantern for Justice League Season 2 and Justice League Season 3. So that's where it comes in. His schedule from that day forward, that's what the problem is. It's not this little cameo scene. It's can he commit to the rest of the movies or seasons, a miniseries, whatever you want to call it. Can he commit to that? That's where the really just too busy comes in. And I thought that was kind of odd. A lot of people were doing that. I did. Yeah. People Sam Benjamin. He's not Green Lantern. He's not. Sam Benjamin is not Green Lantern.
I don't know what he is. Apparently, the rumor ranges as how much screen time he actually has. Some people have said up to a half an hour. He has 30 minutes. So that's where some of the Green Lantern stuff comes from. I don't think that's accurate. I think he maybe have mentioned that he had 30 minutes of screen time. But I think exactly.
Dude, Brian, Armie Hammer. Where'd that go? Wrong one. Where'd it go? There we go. That one. That's one. Scummy. Good old Scummy.
Our buddy Scummy.
Weren't scoopers saying Armie Hammer was either Batman or Green Lantern? They were also saying he was Shazam at one point. He was either going to be the Batman in the Matt Reeves version, then he was going to be Shazam, then he was going to be Green Lantern. That dude is rumored for every superhero role in the DC universe. It feels like it's insane how much that they want him, but they just don't want to commit to that.
Yeah, and I feel like they don't know what to do with him. They're just kind of like, I would have been stoked for Armie Hammer and the Batman. That's definitely something that we're in talks, and Matt and I broke down an old Justice League movie where the Armie Hammer was supposed to play Batman, and I definitely think that would be fantastic. I feel like it's inevitable to have Armie Hammer in the DC universe at some point, but they just can't. Okay. All right. Sam Benjamin is.
And if he's not, then what? Are you going to come back? You're going to apologize. You're going to crawl on your knees. You're going to apologize. Was it Marky Mark GL for those picks in Kevin Smith? Are you talking about those? I think you're talking about those. There was some weird stuff. Oh, you bet us, huh?
Sure, we'll give you a cheap shirt. Nothing flies over this big forehead. Carry on.
If not Sam, then Owen Benjamin. Yeah, see, that makes more sense. There we go. Well, to go even farther, she also says, so no Green Lantern in SnyderCut, but other hero will fill the spot. So I think this is the spot she's talking about. Now, let me see if I can actually find the tweet here. Because she even states in one of these somewhere. Damn.
Welcome back. Right. You should never have left. I hope you're happy. Sorry, do you want me to keep buying time here? Probably be Martian Manhunter? Yeah, possibly. Could possibly be Martian Manhunter.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Okay, I'm trying to find her stupid tweet where
we got the Chargers there.
There we go.
Talking DJ and electronic music producer dies at age 30. Oh, shit. That's sad. Damn, I was just reading what's happening, and that's rough. Well, rest in peace.
Dude, it's Dave the Film Junkie. Oh, already confirmed. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Hardy har har. That's so damn funny. Anyway, just kidding. So this is the thing. So there was a GL scene with Batman where the Batman half was already shot. There was talk of completing that scene maybe with Ryan Reynolds. It didn't pan out, so no current GL in the movie. You're getting a ton of other cool stuff. So this is what she says, right? And to me, from what some of the things that I've seen and what we've heard a little bit, this Batman scene that she's talking about, I believe, is the original idea for the end credit scene with Tomar Ray and Kilowog. So the Batman side of it has already
been this comment.
Exactly. Kilowog. Oh, there we go.
Yep, go ahead. Continue. Sorry.
So this is what I believe they're talking about is this scene. So it was going to be Tomar Ray and Kilowog. Then they were going to try to insert Ryan Reynolds into it, which is exactly what I thought was going to happen. And now they're going to possibly insert somebody else, maybe Martian Manhunter, or maybe they will put Kilowog and Tomar Ray back in. And I kind of find that to be more interesting anyway, because the thing is that scene also establishes a Justice League too. So that might be up in the air too as well. There's still, it all banks on certain things happening. And she just kind of went on a thing. She's just trying to clarify. To clarify, Green Lantern, the character will not be in the Snyder
Cut. Probably. He's rejuvenized his acting career. Might as well.
That would be so awesome.
Barbara Gordon.
That would be so good. And then they bring the guy that plays Johnny from Cobra Kai as Sinestro. That'd be so awesome. You're the best around. No one's ever gonna keep you down. Anyway.
Oh, man.
Maybe all three? Hey, hell, might as well. You could have a whole party
up. That's what I was thinking is I had wondered if there was a placeholder. Maybe some of the Kilowog stuff was already in there in Tomore, and there was a placeholder for someone else, and they were hoping that maybe Ryan Reynolds would be that person, and now it's going to be Martian Manhunter. That's a possibility.
So there's this too that a lot of people are going back to, and Jose's brought it up there. Pull up that Snyder Vero pic. So somebody asked Snyder a while back. This is, even though it says 7 minutes, this is quite old. Actually, Merry Christmas, Zack Snyder. Quick question: was Hal Jordan going to be seen in Star Labs or someplace else? Zack Snyder said another location with the A-OK sign. A couple things. One, that also to me seems like that confirms that it's not Sam Benjamin, because Sam Benjamin's scene was based in Star Labs. He even said that. And somebody directly asked him if Hal Jordan's in Star Labs, and he says, no, another location. So to me, that kind of already confirms that it can't be Sam Benjamin.
That seemed like that's what he was kind of insinuating.
Yeah, well, I think that's why he had such a detailed question here.
Yep, exactly.
Because he was trying to see if it would confirm Sam Benjamin or not. So I think that right there, I mean, if you take in Snyder here, here's the thing. Here's my answer to this when he says at another location. I feel like when he says at another location, he's talking about down the road, like already, like maybe Justice League 2 or another point where the Green Lantern Corps is involved, because the first one here is all about the league, the current league. So that's where I think he's talking about, because you got to remember at this time when he's answering these questions, this is where he was typing in all of his answers about Justice League 1, 2, and 3 and adding the until it wasn't hashtag. Remember the until it wasn't hashtag? I mean, we haven't had that in a while because we've been getting all the good graces, but it's no longer hashtag until it wasn't. Now, and so that's when he was doing this predominantly. And I think it just talks about he's talking about the scope of his story for the 3 Justice League movies.
Yeah, I think it's another cryptic response. He's at another location. That way he's saying, yeah, Green Lantern exists in here, similar to how, we knew Bruce Wayne existed and Lex Luthor existed in the Man of Steel universe. It's out there. It's kind of like an Easter egg. Yeah, he's somewhere else. I feel like that it's kind of a cryptic way that he can utilize him down in the future if the opportunity presents itself. That's I think it's not a direct response of like, oh, he's in another location in this movie in Justice League 1. I think it's something of kind of like, yeah, maybe in Justice League 2 or 3, or just kind of putting it out there. No, he's at a different location, which could literally be anywhere in the vast universe.
I am positive Hal is going to be, mark my words. I'm going to, hold on, let me screenshot people's names here. Because I think you guys don't realize whose channel you're on here. We are petty as fuck. And
exactly. We'll bring that. Hey, you remember?
Compilation video coming down the road.
We also can't pronounce names, so you're safe there.
Oh yeah, you're very safe on that one. Matt, cool. Boom. Okay, there we go. Now I got it. Anyway, that's a very interesting concept, and I know people are bringing up the shirt. He's got the shirt with the Green Lantern logo on it. But that necessarily doesn't mean that they're in Justice League 1. I mean, he did the All God shirt, and that's supposed to be talking about his whole plan for Justice League 1, 2, and 3. And there's no Green Lantern on that one. Like, there's no... So...
Exactly.
Pepperidge Farms remembers. Hell yeah.
We got to start a new one. Comic Movie Marks remembers.
Garza has been here. He's been in and out. He was like watching us instead of doing his own stream or some shit like that.
Exactly.
There we go. Yeah, see, people about to be proven wrong.
Ain't that cute, but it's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. It's Zack's choice. So we'll just see. We will see down the road. But I just don't think this is the moment yet where he's going to set up a Hal Jordan or even a Jon Stewart. I know there's a lot of people talking about a Jon Stewart. Maybe he will put a Jon Stewart in there. I don't know. Maybe that filler spot might be a Jon Stewart, and he's saving that for later. You know, trying not to tell everybody everything, because Grace really puts out a lot of stuff so about what's going on. I don't know. I'm assuming Snyder kind of gives her the go-ahead on that stuff. But, yeah.
You're funny thinking ladies actually join this show. That's our clientele.
Dude, we have like a 3% female demographic now. All right.
Woo, 3%.
It used to be 100% dudes. Like we didn't even have we didn't have nothing and shit. So now we actually have like 3% that watch us. And we have 13 to 17-year-olds watching us now. We have at least we have like 4% of that. And I'm like, those poor kids.
We probably lost the female demographic when I didn't wear a hat to the last live stream. Yeah,
that's what killed it.
I'm out. And dropped.
Great. Damn it. I was reading that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. There's another shit underneath.
Oh, you tease. Damn you.
You thought you guys were going to get some of that.
Oh, man. Some of these comments. All right.
That has literally nothing to do with the history lesson. I don't understand that at all.
I also don't think that's how you spell Zeus is. Oh, man.
Oh, dude, you have no idea. We slay.
That's why I have 20 kids.
Yeah. I'm sure. I mean, I think every guy out there may have some kids that he doesn't know about. That one mistake you made, you got a little too drunk.
Exactly. Several mistakes we made.
And stumbled out of an apartment over in Sun Valley. Yeah. I'm sure.
Exactly. Hey, we got to do what we got to do, all right?
For Shane, it was Carson City, but he stumbled out of there. And no. Oh, Watt. Hell yeah, I got them all Watt.
Oh, what?
It's supposed to be wet, but...
Oh, got the channel. No. Scrolling, looking.
Exactly. So he was talking about that as well. Yeah, he didn't... And that's also where I kind of think he didn't film the scary scene. Which, it's funny on that one, everybody thinks he's commenting about Green Lantern as being in Zack Snyder's Justice League on that one. But I remember when we made this comment before about the scary scene possibly not being in Zack Snyder's Justice League, we were overwhelmingly corrected that, no, that's going to be in Justice League 2. Even though when he was specifically talking about it, he was talking about filming for Justice League in 2016. And he's like, they wouldn't let me film the scary scene. We filmed most of it, but not the scary stuff. They told me not to. And then he started explaining the scary scene, which was what the story he was given. So it's kind of funny how people was like, no, that's in Justice League 2. I'm like, no, he was literally talking about Justice League, the one he filmed in 2016. He didn't get to film that scene. So I thought that was kind of funny. The things that people pick and choose what they want to say.
This made me laugh. Exactly. It's perfect.
Not that I'm paying for.
Man, we are horrible at like keeping this going while reading the chats. We both just like,
hell yeah. Is there a remake of Porky's? That'd be interesting. Because that was PG. Do you think they can keep it up now? Get what I mean? Keep it up, the little... Anyway.
All right. Well, do we want to get on to the article?
Yeah. All right. So hopefully Garza is not here because we're actually going to give him a little bit of praise here for his current article.
Are we? Oh, hold on. Let me delete my notes real quick.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Are you sharing screen still?
Do I have to share it? I don't actually want to have his name up here.
We don't want to give him or the website credit.
All right. Well, I guess I'll do it this one little time.
Yes. Oh, wait. Hold on. Yes.
What's yes? Shit, I missed.
Am I too late? Man,
Yes.
I'm like all this shit is coming up.
Damn it, he is here. Okay, unfortunately, we're gonna be praising him, so he's gonna get all inflated in the head and everything.
I know, as if Zack Snyder sharing this wasn't enough. Now we're even just upping the ante a little bit.
Yep, can't read worth a shit. All right, so I'm still reading comments, and I was still trying. We need a comment guy.
Right, and here we go. We're gonna be reading an article.
No, I ain't reading anything from here.
So here's a shameless plug for if you want to hear all of our bloopers and everything, you can join our Patreon or our YouTube. What are they called? Members. YouTube members. YouTube
Jesus
members.
Christ, dude.
Write them out.
There we go. See, yeah, we're above Zack. There we go. Remember that, kids.
We knew that. We knew that. All right. So remember that, kids.
Please answer my question.
Are we missing something here? Everyone, or are you guys just dicking with us?
I think so.
That's a dick with that.
Look at him. Look at him struggle to read. Please answer my question.
Yeah. What question?
Oh, wait, maybe no. Oh, never mind. That's his question. Lois being killed by Darkseid. That's the scary scene that he's talking about. Now, the Parademon Nest was deemed too scary. Doesn't mean he didn't film it. So, yeah, it was Lois being killed by Darkseid. This is a blooper.
Yes,
yeah,
our entire live stream is a blooper. This is rough. And our numbers are dropping by the second. All right, so on to the awesome article.
Finally, you say something right.
He's a scooper, okay? News. Oh, actually.
Okay, see, this is the thing. I think you guys totally missed. I hate to go back on this thing, but you guys, he was talking about Reynolds because there was stuff going on. He was behind the scenes. He was talking to people at DC about revising his role as Green Lantern. I mean, he still could be in the Flash because it's a very brief cameo. So he might still be part of that. We may or may not see it, but he was talking to people at DC, and it was a thing. It really was a chance. I mean, I don't know how much of a chance it was because of Deadpool 3, but it was there. There was things that were happening. No problem. I thought you were messing with us. See, now we're
right. Yeah. That's you got to be messing with this. I'm not seeing any questions.
I just keep scrolling it up. Answer my question. Right. God damn it. Now we opened up a can of worms.
Exactly.
Wait. No, I got okay. God damn, we are so bad.
Well, it also doesn't help that as I'm like slowly reading it, it moves.
Yeah, I know that too.
I'm like, fuck.
Oh my god, I made it smaller. Shit. No joke, but me
fire.
Me and women watching just because Garza is fire, but we stay for the content because it's informative and entertaining. Nope.
Nope. I love, but. All right.
It's up there. You got all this free press right here.
Oh, do we have Garza's article up? I thought we were talking about Colbert's article from Stream Rant. Sorry.
I don't think Goldberg's done a new article in a while. He just goes back to his old ones because he wrote the shit like a year ago. He's like, now it's relevant.
Yeah, just like our show. Let's just keep talking about. We're actually going to break down Batman v Superman and Civil War again.
I've heard people talk about this. Could he done it secretly? Could he be misleading Grace and everything? That is, it's Zack Snyder. Maybe he did. I mean, he filmed Flash. He filmed Ezra Miller on an iPad. You know, because he was doing Fantastic Beasts, and he was able to do it from an iPad. I mean, it's not out of the realm that he could just, fill in that spot remotely. Anyway.
All right, let's try to have some sort of
how things got started. Not this stream anyway.
If you guys haven't, just to be serious for a minute, check out this article. It's well written. We're just gonna skim it, talk about certain things, but yeah, Zack Snyder reverse engineering the press cycle. It is incredibly well done, Mr. Garza.
It speaks to a lot of us, and it speaks especially to this show, because this show was created off of some of this stuff, off of some of what was mentioned in here. Talking about bloggers, critics, and how they reacted to Batman versus Superman is why this show was even created from the start. Yeah, because of this weird shit that Shane and I kept seeing. I mean, Man of Steel, we thought was just kind of a fluke when it came to the reaction to Man of Steel. We're like, well, it's just people clinging to nostalgia. And I used to compare it to people clinging to stuff in the prequels. Like, Yoda shouldn't fight. He shouldn't be this jumping around and flipping and have a lightsaber. Yoda is peaceful and everything. I used to see those comments all the time about the prequels. And I was like, it's just people clinging to that nostalgia thing. That's where I thought the Man of Steel came from. I thought after Batman versus Superman, they'd start embracing the newer character and the newer look on the Man of Steel, but they didn't. They doubled down. So this is so relevant to this show.
That's old school. We appreciate the support. I would like to think we've come a long way. One of my favorite parts of the article was when That's a compliment. That's a compliment.
I think that works.
That works. I remember back when we were doing the podcast, and Matt and I, we would find articles, and Garza talks about the exact same thing. And we knew if it was a positive article coming from, one place or another, Screen Rant being one of them, because they had a lot of articles shitting on Batman v Superman. But if it was a positive one, for example, we knew it was coming from Colbert
or Andrew Dice.
And so when Garza puts that in this article, I was like, yeah, exactly. Matt and I had the same exact feeling. And yeah, this talks to why we created this, why we were so frustrated at the gym, as we've told the story before. And like, are you fucking kidding me? Who's watching these movies and comparing them? And yeah, so it's awesome to see kind of the direction that pretty much bloggers and press has gone.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when it comes to Man of Steel. For me, like, I'm watching all these people shitting on Man of Steel, and I'm like, man. But there was like one voice, and this would be, I don't know. It just goes back. It just depends how far back you go and how well your memory is. But surprisingly for me, it was John Campea, was that voice for Man of Steel, that he was out there on AMC Movie Talk, and he's talking about how he doesn't understand what critics were watching. They had their heads up their asses, and I'm like, thank you, finally, someone. Even if it's just a small little YouTube channel at the time of AMC Movie Talk, there's somebody talking positively about it.
Even when you watch him initially in the first reaction, I still remember Matt sending this to me when Campea was in a roundtable with like three other people. I don't really remember who was on there.
John Schnepp was one.
Yeah, he was definitely one of them. But he was actually defending a lot of parts in BVS. And then somehow, somewhere along the lines, he decided to jump on the opposite, probably for clicks or whatever, like a lot of people have done. But yeah, Campea was kind of one of those people where like, yeah, all right, he's speaking for some of us, and yeah, some of the articles that came out. But yeah, it's this article. So just to we can kind of break it down a little bit. So starting back from the very beginning of where essentially smaller blog sites, which a lot of us have followed very early on. I remember following different blog sites. Anything that I can get information on for Man of Steel, I was following on whether it was a group chat or something on Facebook. And essentially because at the time they were so powerful that those were the ones who continued just to kind of ride that wave with the growth of Marvel. And that's essentially what Garza is breaking down a little bit.
Yeah. So this, like I said, depending on how long you've been following this, if you're new, it may not hit home with you that much, but at least gives you a history lesson of things. But Shane and I have been, actually a little bit more than me because I never had social media, but he was dealing with some of those in the trenches back in 2013 more than I did because I didn't have social media. I watched YouTube and I saw people shitting on it that way. But it speaks to you so well when you're reading this thing about all the factors that came in.
I remember arguing with people over when we finally got the trailer that had Hans Zimmer's score behind it, because the other ones were kind of like repetitive. What would they even call that? Like music, essentially, that you've seen and that's been used in several different trailers and things like that.
So stock music and stuff.
Yeah, essentially, like Lord of the Rings, I know used a lot of the same, like for the teasers and stuff. So when we finally got Hans Zimmer's score, I remember arguing with people on Facebook primarily over, oh, see, it's not going to have the score. And from right there, I should have known. I should have known how naive people were. You knew this was not going to tie into what had already been established with Christopher Reeve's movies, and people were still expecting to hear the John Williams score. And from right then, and at the time, I used to waste so much time arguing with people on the internet, which I was young and stupid at the time. But I remember that was kind of like this
exactly receding hairline, gray beard, and still stupid.
But yeah, that was kind of the start of a lot of it from what I remember.
This is one big key thing right here. I thought this was something I learned about after BVS. I remember we learned about this going into the filming of Zack Snyder's Justice League, because all of a sudden these people were invited to the set and the embargo lifted immediately the next day. And it turned out it was a lot of the people that were shitting the most on Batman versus Superman.
I remember some of the articles that Matt was sending me. And I could still remember, like, not necessarily who they were from, but some of the things that they were saying in terms of like how Lighter Hope and, and different things. And that's where Matt and I were kind of like, okay, damn, this sucks. They definitely are going in a different direction. This isn't going to be Zack Snyder's thing. But, and then we were still on the same fence of, no, this is still Zack Snyder's movie. And
so this is the thing. And I think he briefly touches on this a little bit, but it's not that it's not necessarily Disney controlled media, but what it is people really grasped onto. That's where this concept about these set visits came from. I mean, he does touch on this, but it definitely becomes, and we talked about this early on too, about there was people talking about this in a way where it was the idea that the set visits were part of the deal. And then you get to see the movie early, and it was all these perks. So, and I remember we read this one article. It's like, who is gonna talk shit about this? Who's gonna talk shit about a Disney movie? And this was explicitly mainly about Star Wars. I remember when The Force Awakens came out. I mean, they had all these people come down to the Chinese theater amphitheater in LA, and they gave them this big extravagant thing for The Force Awakens. And Force Awakens got big reviews, huge. Drove a lot of people to the box office. Marvel movies the same way, and it started this theme, this trend. And then I remember when they was talking about the Justice League set visits, this was DC's attempt to start doing what Disney was doing, not only with their content and their tone, but trying to smooch up to the critics and the people that apparently mattered in the industry, that were determining whether or not your movie may or may not make money because of the tomato meter that we're going to talk about later on. That was a fucking thing. That was a big deal. I mean, it's still there. It's still there a little bit, not as much, but it's still a factor. And it's crazy because if you think about it, that may feel new in the movie industry, or at least somewhat in the last decade, but in the gaming industry, it's been around forever. People have talked about that for so long. That, these people get these free discs from these gaming companies, these free things, all these perk packages, all this extra merch and everything. Are they really going to talk shit about the guy? People's
now with YouTube, it's even more prevalent because of the success that people are finding on YouTube. But this is something across the board in every facet of business. And I guess kudos to Disney for recognizing it and going, you know what? We need to start bringing some of these people and showing them a good time. Hell, when I worked for a small business, we used to get wined and dined. Well, it's to scale, but we would get wined and dine all the time so that we would buy from a specific company. And you have a great time. You're eating like steak. You're going to sporting events and stuff like that. You're like, hell yeah! Where do I sign up? Buy all your shit. And that's essentially, you're not going to talk crap. And whether it's, even if you have a great experience, you're kind of putting that in in people's minds. You're like, okay, let's make everything about it fun. So even whatever they're watching, they're not really going to maybe like subconsciously give their honest opinion because everything was great about it.
And like Shane said, talking about Stephen Colbert, Andrew Dice. I mean, Andrew Dice had an article that we still get comments on to this day, and we read about it, and it was I can't remember the exact title of the thing, so don't kill me on this one, but it was basically saying the critics were wrong about Batman versus Superman. And he had that article, and we still get comments on that article to this day. To this day, we get comments on that. And I think it was a big stepping stone that at least a decent size place like Screen Rant publicized something like this, kind of calling them out in some sense. But you know what's sad is what's turned people against the critics is not necessarily anything DC. It's kind of more arbitrary, dumb. Well, not necessarily dumb, but some of these ridiculous ideas of some of how people reacted to Star Wars: The Last Jedi, because it was so overwhelmingly lopsided that the fans hated, but the critics praised. And anybody that didn't like it, there's all this crap going back and forth. And Captain Marvel, that was another one. Another moment where critics loved it or liked it, and fans didn't. And it got shit over. So this is where that breakup started happening right then and there. And now this is what we're talking about when it came to Zack Snyder's Justice League. When they're freaking out about him getting this money and him getting this opportunity to redo this movie and bring it to a streaming service, people aren't on their side anymore. They actually surprisingly make people want to see this movie now because people, have now pushed them away. Slowly they're losing some of their influence. Good input, Shane.
I'm just reading. Just continue.
Obviously, he talks about Justice League, the theatrical cut, what we saw then. Yeah, it's. I even said it when it happened because I remember seeing at the time, and we have our reviews up about it, and I remember there was people when Justice League came out, and they said just in their rankings of DC movies, it was Justice League 1, Batman versus Superman 2. Yep. And for the life of me, even then, when I was kind of in the middle and still trying to kind of maybe like the movie, even though I really didn't, but I was trying to like it. Even then, I was like, I don't understand how that Justice League could be your 1 and Batman versus Superman could be your 2. You couldn't have more polar opposite movies. And it made no sense to me that people did that. And it was just kind of this weird thing that, I don't know, people just tried to, it was a DC movie, and the DC Marvel wars are there, and people were trying to inflate it up as much as possible. If it wasn't for Thor Ragnarok, Justice League would have been the shittiest comic book movie I ever saw.
Yeah, so in the article, this is the point where he's talking about how everyone was in full belief that Snyder had changed his film to be lighter. And that's what a lot of us were buying into, of like, oh, here we go. We're getting into the Marvel realm of things. Something that was so anti what all of us were for. If you were following it from Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, we're like, shit, it was almost inevitable is what it seemed like. And it's funny to hear Snyder also talk about how at some points he was like, have we gone too far? Are people going to like this? Did we mess up? Like kind of second guessing some of the things that they were putting in there just because of all the backlash and what now appears to be kind of the vocal minority, unfortunately. And the vocal minority were people who had the loudest voice in terms of being able to, write blogs for different websites.
So he titled this The Spark. A few months after the release, I applied to start writing for this site because I couldn't stand all the nonsense being written about Batman versus Superman and Justice League. Someone needed to speak the truth. And like we were talking about, the reaction after Batman versus Superman is what started the Comic Movie Marks, podcast / YouTube channel / gaming channel / whatever the hell else shit we could make up at the time to try to get some kind of views.
My favorite was the football shit. What was it called?
Yeah, we were doing football breakdowns, like
Yeah.
the season.
What the heck was that called? It was
We called it Laces Out.
Laces Out. Yes.
Yeah.
So Laces Out segment. Shit. Yeah, that was fun times. Some of my fondest memories.
And he talks about here, beginning of digging information about Justice League. Others were carving their own area. David Pena, Chris Wong Swenson. The comic movie marks were known within the Snyder community in their takes and their approach to the video. DC Film Squad the comic movie marks spoke to my heart in the podcast form. They described their thoughts immediately following the showing. Go comic movie marks. There we go. That's that. And and obviously here, I think a lot of us, I remember specifically after SnyderCon, Shane and I were kind of both in agreement, like, yeah, unfortunately this feels like a Donner situation. It might be, it's going to be years. And we'll see what happens. But we really started feeling like it was years. And then just, November 17th, 2019 came about, Z-Day, and it changed a lot of things.
Kind of talking about some of the stuff that Garza is mentioning in this article in terms of like finding people who thought similar to us. And I feel that, everything happened for a reason. We got Justice League the way that we did so that we can now get it the way it's meant to be. Absolutely no compromise. And with some of that, even though, not mentioning all the infighting, there's a bunch of nonsense of, people were on the same team, we're fighting for the same thing, but then fighting against each other. The SnyderCon, we met some great people, and it was so fun to see and talk to all of the people that felt the exact same way we did. And everyone was talking about the Snyder Cut. Everybody was like, oh, who's going to ask the question? Who can ask the question? How do we ask the question? We met so many great, awesome people. We met Dave and Chris Wong there, and it was a blast. It was so much fun. And that's kind of when some of the momentum in terms of like, not necessarily, as Matt mentioned, we were like, man, this probably isn't going to be for a while. It's going to be like a Donner Cut, but at least you can kind of feel that there is a community that's backing Snyder. Because after Batman v Superman, it was kind of hard. You're like searching for like, okay, who thinks similar to me, who enjoyed these movies, and because so many people were shitting on it. I remember I stopped listening to a couple different podcasts that every single show that they were talking about like was just shitting on Batman v Superman. Marvel will release a movie and it was like, oh, see, this is why Batman v Superman.
And all the articles, it was like. It was like Venom. Like Venom is not even the MCU, and it's like Venom made more money than Justice League.
Yeah.
What kind of comparison is that? Like there was constant just kicking while people were down at moments. We got a couple questions here. Do you think Mr. J will kill Grayson? Eli Snyder. Now that'd be interesting if Eli Snyder does play the
that would be fantastic. That would be really cool.
He does use them for those things.
That would be awesome. I don't know if that's what the clip is that we're going to see. That would be, in my mind.
So. He brought up Death in the Family so much. He brought up Death on all those streams. I think in all the streams that he was doing recently, he brought up Death in the Family. And so to me, even if it's vivid, I mean, I'm not talking about an explicit thing, but maybe even if it's vivid, we will see it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Do you think? What the hell?
Oh, sorry. This is one of our OG followers right here. SnyderCon was absolutely amazing.
It was amazeballs.
Amazeballs.
Came across Wong and Cobb from the beginning of the BVS days. See, we didn't see anybody. We honestly just started it, and then I think some people were telling us to talk to Chris Wong, and I think that he was the first one we started talking to. And I watched some of his stuff.
I don't even remember before the SnyderCon how we like coordinated. I don't know if it was us reaching out to Chris or vice versa, or Dave.
I think Chris started a group chat.
I knew we all knew we were going to be there, and then we decided to meet up. And at that point, then we kind of knew we were familiar with Dave and Chris. But what was very, again, stupid and naive on at least I'm speaking for myself, I didn't think anyone was out there talking positive about BVS. To be quite honest. And so that's why Matt and I were like, we got to do this. We have to at least kind of put a different side out there. I mean, are we this crazy? And then we started following and finding other people at that point.
Sorry. God, we are sorry, guys. We're terrible out here.
So I guess back to the article. This is the point where we flipped the script a little bit, and now Snyder is joining. I mean, he joined Real Emotion as Garza puts in this, and we got a chance to talk to him, ask some questions, and then he's been on Grace Randolph's show twice now. He went on Chris Wong's, he went on Dave's. Chris Wong's was like a one-on-one. So really, like, finding people who have supported him from the very beginning, and pretty much fuck off to all you other people who are just in it for the clicks. And it's so fantastic that if you stay loyal to who you are and to your opinions, and and now you great guys like Dave and Chris are reaping the benefits of that, and it's awesome to see.
I just want to share this real quick, just in case no one saw it for some reason. But Senior, God dang it, there we go. Senior Film Gob. I have to share this because I just thought it was hilarious.
Damn. Oh, waiting for our stream. I thought for a second, I thought you put, sorry guys, fell asleep watching your stream. Just woke up. Happy America Thanksgiving. I'm like, yeah, we know. We get told all the time we have no energy.
So I'm going to pop over here to this one real quick, to Mr. Senior Film Gob, because I just thought this was hilarious. And I just had it.
Man.
And I'll just play it for anybody that hasn't seen it on the Twitter. So this is Campia when Grace gets another interview with Zack Snyder. Oh my God.
Can't hear it.
This thing is so quiet.
It's so quiet. Volume turned down.
Hi, Zack. Welcome back.
Yeah, it's going to be here again.
All right. After that abomination of an attempt to show that. Anyway. There we go.
That's perfect.
All right. Hold on. I need to go back to my settings. There we go. Okay. Now I can hear you in the microphone. And
that's too bad.
Let's go back to the subpar article. Okay. Anyway. Just kidding. Anyway. I just wanted to share that because that was just great. God was he nailed that one. That one made me laugh so hard. And, it honestly just keeps going. This is just something that Snyder's going to do. I think this is how, I think that's what he's going to do. I was waiting for it. No, I'm just kidding, man. And and it's going to be interesting because Snyder was talking about on Grace Randolph how HBO Max is going to give him a full blown marketing budget. Like it's going to come out in theaters and everything. He's going to get that full push. So I'm wondering what that entails for him. Is he get to choose who he goes and talks to? Does he choose anything else? I mean, it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens. Who he does interviews with. Because right now he's just doing. Grace Randolph is by far the largest YouTuber he's doing stuff with, and the biggest name anyway in the business. And that's the largest one. And other than that, it's been fans basically. Film Junkie, Real Emotion Podcast, the Nerd Queens over there, and the League of Mayhem stream.
Yeah,
all that stuff was, that's fans, and that he's just promoting. And that stuff gets printed and distributed throughout the entertainment websites and stuff like that.
Yeah, so which is awesome. I can't. Oh, real quick, big shout out. Thank you, sir. You're awesome. I would be.
Is that winking like because of the eggplant? Did something happen to the eye? That's almost happened.
I feel like we would be hard pressed to find another director that does what Snyder is doing. How he is giving back to his fans by really boosting and elevating their YouTube channels, by joining them and getting the traction, having people going to those channels to find the initial streams, and really just in some cases just shooting the shit, just having a conversation, drinking. Like, who else does that? And if we weren't in love with him because of things that he's doing, how great his movies are, and you want to keep it down there, Matt?
Yeah, I know.
But for if we didn't love him for his movies, the type of person that he is, the director we hear about on sets, and everything else, what he's doing for suicide prevention, and now he's even gone further and said, you know what, I'm going to give back to my fans. It's awesome. It's so awesome.
And that's just kind of the route that he's going to go. And I just want to, and we'll just end it here. You want to read that, Shane?
Oh, yes. This so well done. So, I want the other blogs and film sites to remember, in all the years to come, in your most private moments, I want you to remember our hand at your site's throat. I want you to remember the men and women who beat you. Boom. So fantastic.
Very good golf clap for that one.
So if we were planned to, or I guess slotted to get on Dave's stream that ended up going a little bit too long, and we were going to ask the Man of Steel Christopher.
Apparently it's been answered because I did bring it up on the stream. I went on that stream and they say it's been answered that it was kind of accidental.
Okay.
The VFX artist talked about it. And somebody did send a link, or someone did tell us a video to find, and that they found someone talking about it. So that one has been answered, but I have all kinds of new questions now. So, yep. Frank Miller, Dark Knight Returns. Yeah. Or Harry Lennox.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I did not do nearly as good of a job as Harry Lennox. That was that's chills.
Yeah, I was just reading this one.
Yeah, that's the one I was reading.
Wait, so you're saying is if you appeal to the fans and talk to them directly like adults, they'll accept you easier? Quick, get new info on the labs. Like anyway, it's just what it is. Hey, my Jarbo. Hi.
All right. Welcome. And we're done. No.
He does.
Oh yeah. Man, that had to be highlights for sure.
Go ahead.
I just loved being on someone else's show and Snyder joining and having the ability to ask him questions and everything. The fact that he was acknowledging you and share, not only acknowledging, like liking it, but sharing it was just awesome.
It doesn't mean he agrees with everything. It just means he agrees with like one thing.
The title.
Yeah. And he liked the picture. He probably really liked that picture. No, I'm just kidding.
That was his good side.
Oh, Shane in a fedora. That would actually be pretty sweet.
I don't own one, but I can give you my mailing address.
Yeah, Snyder's sharing the article. I mean, I don't know. I'm curious. Next time if anybody can talk to him again, I'm curious to see how he truly feels about that article. Does it really hit home for him? Does he agree with everything? Everything. Like, yeah. Yeah, he called me bro. Bro.
Bro.
So it would be interesting, man. Is that truly how he feels about the situation? Did he feel he got railroaded by people just because of set visits and perks and shit like that?
I'm sure he gets people who send him crap all of the time. I'm sure that's how it. I mean, I would look myself up. Oh, what the fuck are people saying about me? But Jay, you're too kind. You're too kind. As long as I'm wearing a hat, I look fine.
Yeah, as long as you're hiding your head, you're good.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to briefly talk about this thing. I don't know if I might as well just play it after the shitty Kohl's ad goes through here. Oh my god!
And then you got to share your screen again.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting there. I'm trying to make sure the volume's turned up this time. God, it was supposed to be a 15-second ad. That went on for like 40 minutes. Jesus. All right. So hold on. So, come on, mouse. Stop dying. There we go.
I'm not very good at like talking and buying time, and I'm just reading some of the comments.
Cowboy hat. Yeehaw! I can see Shane in a cowboy hat. All right, so this is kind of an interesting little thing. if you actually listen to the whole podcast, it's not necessarily that interesting, but
And it's nothing that we haven't done already. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't listened to it, but that's what it seems like.
And the excerpt is interesting though, because Rotten Tomatoes actually has this thing, and this one was titled "Rotten Tomatoes is Wrong," and it's talking about Batman versus Superman. Basically, the Rotten Tomatoes score compared to the fan score. And this is a small excerpt that they posted. Let's see if I actually got this right this time. Okay, so this is like a 1-minute excerpt, so I'll just play this.
This is a Batman that has lost Robins. We know he's lost people that are close to him. We know he's got a history, and we do see him killing. This is a man that's lost his way. He's not who he was anymore. And in that moment, there's this man who is giving his life up, an alien who's not even of our world, that would give his life up for these people, this world. And in that moment, Bruce becomes human again. Here's an alien teaching him humanity, that don't worry about me, save Martha. And I do see why people have a problem with it's just the name Martha. But for me, here's an alien bringing Bruce's humanity back to him. You're having a moment flash before your eyes of his whole life of, oh my God, what have I done? Who have I become? You know, Bruce Wayne used to be this man who never would take a life and vowed to never take a life. And here he was just taking this life with no impunctions, and to be brought back to that, this guy's dying here in front of him, and there's the woman he loves in front of him going, no, this is his name, this is Martha, this is his mother's name. I do get why people make the jokes about it. I don't feel that. I think it's such a powerful moment.
Again, nothing that classic comic movie marks haven't already said, but well said, and it's also on Rotten Tomatoes, which is fantastic, or a podcast that they do.
So yeah, I did find this kind of interesting. So
wanted to go back to this real quick. We were talking about Garza's John Aaron Garza's article. Zack Snyder is reverse engineering the press cycle in 2020. That's what we were talking about.
So this particular podcast. So now I was curious. I was like, okay, that's an interesting comment about it, and especially, for Rotten Tomatoes. And then I'm listening to it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see what they hear. So this Mike, I'm not even trying to say his last name here. Kalinowski. So he's actually like a big DC fan and really loves the movie. So it was up to him to come on there and change Jacqueline, I believe the name is. And then, of course, Mark Ellis, which anybody would know if you watch Collider or AMC Movie Talk. So that's who he's trying to convince that Rotten Tomatoes is wrong about this shitty ad. There we go.
From my understanding, both of them write for Rotten Tomatoes.
Right. They are Rotten Tomatoes critics.
Yep.
And he's actually going through it trying to convince them. Now, so that's him talking about the Martha scene and about Superman inspiring Bruce and so forth. Now, it's not as a revelation of a podcast as you would hope. Now, I did not get to hear the whole thing, but it basically, Jacqueline, I believe it is, she's a no-go. She still hates the movie, from what I got. She was constantly still making jokes about it. And Mark Ellis just kind of went with the motion of the ocean on this and just agreed with everything the guy was saying, but just still, he still doesn't care that much about the movie. But it is an interesting concept, and I'm just curious because I don't know if anybody even cares, but I see recently that Mario F. Robles from Attack of the Fans and stuff like that, he wrote, he did several Revenge of the Fans, I believe actually it was, the Fanboy podcast. He's now come out saying in tweets that he's finally, okay, everybody, people are right. Man of Steel is fantastic. It's finally got to him. He's finally appreciating it. I'm like, okay, you're 7 years late, but all right. I guess better late than never. That one gif, whatever the chick.
Well done, Matt. Well done.
I'm trying to be hip for the kids.
Right.
I'm sure that gif is relevant.
Right. That GIF.
GIF, whatever you call it. Drop my water.
Giphy GIF. So this is an interesting question. I've actually talked to some coworkers about this. Do you guys think that Martha's scene could have been done better? I don't think it could have been done better. For Matt and I both, we didn't initially realize the backlash and how other people took it, the general audience, if you will, how they took it until well afterwards, until all of a sudden people are putting out memes and things like that. I understood it perfectly. I understood exactly like the PTSD that Bruce was going through, but I think maybe it could have been done differently for a general audience. However, that's not Snyder's style. Snyder does not, he does movies for him and what he would like to see. But you know, so maybe to get people to understand a little bit differently, I've seen a lot of different YouTube people chopping up that scene and adding different things and clips from like Suicide Squad and stuff like that to make it feel a little bit different and maybe be delivered a different way. Potentially, maybe it would have been received better, but I didn't have any problems with it, and I didn't really know that it was an issue until much later.
There it is. All right, so I'm going to go back to the good old share screen. The mouse here is, goddamn, right here, share. All right, so this right here is a deleted scene, and even and that's Larry Fong on the right, and of course Mr. Zack Snyder on the left, and of course Mr. Superman himself, Henry Cavill, in the middle. Now this was supposed to be a scene where Clark is doing research on Bruce Wayne, and this is supposedly, from what I've understood, this is the scene where he finds out about Bruce's past and obviously his parents dying and so forth. Now this could lead up to a scene where now he understands the name Martha. And I've always thought that might be interesting to have in there. And I'm always curious why it wasn't. But again, the Martha scene never confused us. We always were it never didn't make sense. So we never understood we have the same last name, blah, blah, blah. We're friends. That stupid thing from that crappy Step Brothers movie. And which I'm probably gonna get hate for that, but I hate that movie anyway.
No, the only good Will Ferrell movie is Megamind.
Wow, you're really reaching on that one.
I love that movie. If you haven't seen Megamind, watch it tonight. It's awesome.
Oh, and you get to take a sip of water after that one. After that, go check it out.
Do it.
Local cinema. So, could things have been? For more people to understand, and I guess, I don't know. It could, but I still never saw the problem with it. I don't understand why it was treated like that. It was just like one person said it, and then people just went with it, and just to try to be funny.
This was one of the clips that I saw, or that scene when I saw it chopped up. There's probably 100 versions of that done differently, but one of them was it flashing to the Joker, to
Joker laugh one I've seen.
To the part where Thomas Wayne is saying Martha, kind of incorporating that a little bit. Oh, okay, let me correlate that a little bit differently. But if you watch the movie even just twice, you can kind of, there's
especially the old. See, what happens is the theatrical version didn't do it as well, because at least in the Ultimate Edition, you see Clark investigating Bruce, or at least Batman. In the theatrical, it's just kind of there. So I get some of it because it's just not as established as you want it to be, like it is in the Ultimate Edition. So that's one of the folly of WB just shooting themselves in the foot.
Yep.
Dude, they're still talking about Man of Steel in the next snap, and Pa Kent getting sucked up in a tornado. That's 7 years. Just wait. Martha's going to be... If they say anything like Martha in Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's just going to keep on going. Keep on trucking. Man, people love your goddamn forehead.
It is beautiful. So it's skinny, but beautiful.
It is an interesting thing to see how these movies develop over time. Batman vs. Superman, Man of Steel, to see the reactions later on. It's still out there, and it's still being talked about. And I do find that.
When did that podcast drop? Do you know? You started listening to it. When did the Rotten Tomatoes one drop?
Can put me on the spot.
Sorry, might be able to find it. I don't know, but I think
the tweet is 9 hours ago.
Yeah, right. I know that the tweet was recent, so maybe the episode was recent too. I'm only gonna guess, but I'm trying to pull. I have the link. Let's see.
I don't see a date.
Trying podcast. I don't know.
Anyway,
not seeing a date, but it's the point that I was trying to make is the relevance of these movies and the fact that they're being discussed this many years later is very telling. And there's a ton of, not to beat the crap on Marvel all the time, but there's a lot of Marvel movies that just get glossed over because they're just fillers, kind of commercials for the next one, as we've mentioned 100 times before. And the fact that these are still getting talked about, and part of it's probably because Zack Snyder's Justice League is coming out, so now people are watching it. There was one, Matt sent me a guy who watched Batman v Superman for the first time just recently, and it's him. The entire show, or YouTube show, is him watching the Ultimate Edition. And then kind of reacting to different things. And it was his first time seeing it. So maybe more people are starting to go back to it. And hopefully people will go back to it and go, oh, man, this isn't as bad as I thought, because there's not all of the noise around them. And we've told our good friend Nick, he needs to sit down and watch. He's watched the theatrical. He's watched the Ultimate Edition. He still
he never watched the theatrical.
He didn't watch the theatrical?
The first time you ever watched it was the Ultimate Edition.
Okay. Yeah. But we basically said, watch it again, block out the noise. He's a psychologist. He should understand kind of the movie and everything, and a lot of the nuances of the movie. And hopefully, people will start to go back to it. Hopefully he'll be one of them and go, oh, you know what? Maybe this isn't as bad as I initially thought. You're not comparing it to Civil War. You're not comparing it to Marvel's big ride. You're not comparing it to everything else. You don't have all these articles that are constantly being pumped out on a daily, shitting on it, and you can go back and go, oh, you know what? This is actually a pretty good movie, or a fantastic movie.
Exactly. All right, guys. So that's going to end this podcast, this Thanksgiving Eve for our people here in the States. It's for good times. Have holidays. I have 4 days off, and I cannot wait for that. So that's going to be nice
for both of us.
Do you have 4?
Sure. 3. I have 3.
Pussy. Anyway.
Well, I typically have 3. Now they're shifted, and that's what happens when you're salary. Anyways, thank you guys for joining on this Thanksgiving Eve. Thank you to our international fans who don't celebrate our Thanksgiving, but glad you can join us on a random Wednesday.
Turkey anyway.
Yeah, exactly. America. And yes, you as well, Garza. Appreciate it. Great job on the article. So was fan-fucking-tastic. That's my favorite word, fantastic. But if, again, shameless plug, we're going to throw in, be a Patreon supporter, YouTube member. We got some merch. Send me a fedora in case I don't see you.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.